Hi everyone, my name's Anne-Marie. Welcome to this card making project. Today we're going to make a gorgeous card using the Griffin paper blooms. Now this is a paper pack of flowers and leaves that Anna's made that's full of different coloured flowers. Now you can either use them as they are or you can manipulate them so that they've got a little bit of shape and texture. So I just want to show you how to do that first before we start, because I've given my flowers just a little bit of shape rather than leaving them flat. Although there's nothing wrong with leaving them flat, but it was just my personal preference. I wanted to give them just a little bit of shape so that you can see the difference between the flat and the shaped flower. So what I've done is I've taken one of the flowers from the set and I start by lifting the stamens in the middle, and it's not going to damage it. They're all stuck together. They're not gonna, nothing's gonna happen. So just pinch the stamens up so that they're kind of cup shape, and then I take my bone folder and I simply run it along the edge underneath the flowers at the back. I go all the way around, just gently, so that they've got a little bit of shape, like that, and there we go. So they're starting to face downwards, and then I take the bone folder and I do the same to the flowers in the middle, but the opposite way around. So I'm lifting them and curling them towards the centre, like that. Go all the way around, last one, and then scrunch the stamens up again, and then you can literally go back to the petals on the outside and just use your bone folder to go the other way, and that gives them a little bit of a curl, so they're not sat flat on your project, unless you want them flat, like we say. Now the other alternative, what you can do is, once you've done this, in the centre you can add a button or a gem, something like that. On one of my flowers I've added a pearl brad. So my second flower looks like that. So I've just added a pearl brad in the centre. But I wanted just to show you first, before we start, how to just manipulate your leaves. You can do far more with them. You can ink them, you can curl them even more. But just for this project, it gives you an idea of alternative things that you can do. Everything I use I shall put on a detailed description on my blog. Today I'm turning back on the YouTube comments. I'm not going to reply to YouTube comments anymore because my replies disappear. I can read everything you say and I can click like, but I can't comment back to you. If you want me to comment and reply, or you want to directly contact me, please do so through my blog or Facebook or through the YouTube messaging system. But the comments on the actual videos, I'll read them all, I click like, but I can't reply. It's an error in the system on my account. So I just want to emphasise that it's not me being rude that I'm not replying. It's I can't reply because they delete my replies for some unknown reason. Okay, so that's housekeeping out the way, so let's get on with the main event. The card that I'm using is a 7x5" card. It is my favourite card size of all times, and I know you may be bored of me using this size, but I think it's perfect for what we create, because we don't want our masterpieces to be too big, we don't want them to be too small, and it's a nice size. Oh, my camera's just doing its thing, so bear with it. It's a nice size for us to use. So I'll show you how it looks on our cardometer. So it just sits nicely smaller than the A5 or the A3 from across the pond, and it's just a little bit bigger than the A2 across the pond or the A6 in European countries. So in other countries around the world, I know they call different measurements as well. So if you know what your measurement is and it's different to these, either the A3 or A2, A5, let me know, because I'd be very interested to know what you call them. So that's our card, to give you a little bit of perspective. Now this card, I think, is going to be one of the prettiest cards that we've made in a long time. Plus very easy and simple and quick. So I'm going to use my bone folder to make sure I've got a nice sharp edge. And we're going to do the inside first. Now the inside, I've already prepared part of it. I've cut out a layer to fit the inside in ivory cardstock, and then I've taken some red tape and I've made a border pattern with the tape, just simple crisscross in each corner, and then I've used curled foil over the top of the tape to give it a gold edge. I've stamped using one of Anna's 22 clear birthday stamps, and it says "with love on your birthday." So I've added those already, and then all I have to do is add it to the centre of our card. There we go. Now to finish off the inside, I've taken one of Anna's flowers from the Perfect Bloom paper bloom set. I've run it through the Xyron machine just to show you that you can. It's not going to hurt the flowers. You can still fluff them up if you want to after the bottom petals have been Xyroned. However, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this flower in half, and I'm going to go directly through the centre, and then half of the flower I'm going to peel away from the backing, and I'm going to add to one side of our inserts like that, and then the other half again I'm going to peel away the Xyron back, and shall I add it there or there? I think we'll have it at the top. And now I know you're probably all screaming, no, put it to the side. But we'll put it to the top just for something a little bit different. Now that is our inside finished. You've still got room to write your message to, from and everything. If you're going to write an essay, write it on a separate piece of paper. But I think that's such a pretty insert. It still folds flat because the flowers were flat when we put them through the machine. There's no bulk there to them. Now we can turn our attention to the outside. So I'm just using my bone folder again to make sure we've still got that nice sharp crease. Now because I used my Xyron for the flower, I wasn't going to waste the rest of the sheet as I put it through, because I've got a creative station and it's got the 9-inch adhesive in at the moment. So I've put the first layer of the card through as well. Now this is one of Anna's foil layers. Looks a little bit odd because I've taken the middle out of it. All will become apparent very shortly. So I'm just going to add this to the front of our card. Now it isn't that I've been economical with it, but I wanted the pattern section in the middle for a further layer on our card. So don't panic that I'm gone a bit crazy. because I probably am crazy anyway, but that's beside the point. So our next layer is again another one of Anna's foil layers, and I've simply trimmed this. It had an outer pattern on it, and I've just trimmed it down to the frame section because I wanted to see the little bit of pink around the edge like this as I place it on top of our previous layer, like that. So now we've got a layer on a layer, so to speak. Now you remember I cut the centre bit out, and this is it. I've just trimmed it down, so I'm left with the main pattern. I've got flat tape on the back of this, so these have all gone on as flat layers so far. And I'm just going to add this through the centre of our card like that. And then, now I can turn my attention to the paper blooms. I've got one of the gold leaves that I'm going to add. I've got 3D foam on one edge and then flat tape on the bottom edge. So it's 3D at the top and flat at the bottom. And then I've got my two flowers that I've just shaped slightly. I've got 3D foam on the back of them. And I'm just going to add these to the card, leaving a little bit of room between them so that I can add one of Anna's favourite sentiment stickers, like so. So I'm just going to manipulate it so that I can get the sticker on there, like so. Maybe I have to jiggle my flowers a little bit, like that. Maybe lift this one up as well, just slightly. There we go. And add the happy birthday between them. And then I can finish the card off with a gorgeous little gold bow. And that's our card finished. Our inside is just as pretty as the outside. It's got the gold foiling, the flowers that match to the front. It stands up nicely. Now I think you will need a little bit of bubble wrap or something just to cover those flowers if you use them shaped, just to protect them a little bit if you're posting. So it's got a little bit of height. Again, you might need a slightly larger envelope for posting if you're going with the height flowers. But if not, if you keep them flat, then you can still post and that would save you a little bit. So everything I've used, I shall put details on my blog. So feel free to comment. Don't forget, today's the first day we're going back to YouTube comments, but I'm not going to reply to them. I'm not being rude, I just can't reply to them, but I can click like. So if you need to contact me, it's through my blog or on Facebook or direct messaging. So thank you so much for watching and putting up with me. I do appreciate it, and I appreciate hearing from you. I've had some absolutely fabulous messages in the last fortnight. I've had a tough fortnight, but you've all been sending your best wishes, and that's great. Thank you so much. I do appreciate it. So thanks for watching, and I shall see you next time.